Welcome back everyone, I'm Plays Games, this is EVE Online, and as I'm sitting in my escape pod you can tell it's time for another ship fitting guide. And we're going to continue with what we did last time out, and we're going to do a cheap, low skilled cruiser for running level 2 missions. And as usual I have got the 8 remaining combat oriented cruisers in a list in numerical order, and we're going to use a random number generator to tell me which one we're going to build. Makes it more fun for me, makes it more fun for you, and it proves that almost any ship can run level 2 missions. Minimum 1, maximum 8. And it's given us number 4, and that tells us we're going to be doing a Moa today. Well, that's good fun, Moa are nice ships. So let's open the fitting window, zoom in, and have a look at the Moa. Let's have a look at the traits first. Caldari cruiser bonuses per skill level, 5% bonus to medium hybrid turret damage, so at level 5 you'll have 25% damage, which is great, and 4% bonus to all shield resistances per level. So again, at level 5 you will have a bonus 20% to all shield resistances. Now this is almost identical to the Mala we did in the previous episode, which was energy turret damage and armor resist, so this is basically the Caldari version of a Mala. It is also like the Mala in as much as it's a gunship. Here we are, 5 high slots, 5 turret slots, so the high slots is going to be 5 turrets, 4 low slots and 5 mid slots because it's shield tank and most shield tank stuff is mid slot. So I think we're going to start off with the low slots. Let's have a look. We need weapon upgrades and we need magnetic field stabilizers. These are the ones that increase hybrid turret damage and rate of fire. So let's do 3 compact magnetic field stabilizers. We'll leave the 4th low slot open at the minute. We might use it for tracking or power grid or cap or something else. Propulsion wise, we're going to do a 10 meganewton enduring afterburner, much the same way that we did in the Mallor, and we're going to do in the same way we do with every cruiser, a large compact cap battery. I do really want to get a tracking computer on this, so let's just put one on just now. Tracking computer, enduring, and we're going to make sure it's loaded with a tracking speed script because that's what we're probably going to use it for. Now this is going to be a shield tank, and we've only got 2 mid slots left, so we're not going to do a shield extender and a shield hardener because that means the passive shield recharge would still be pretty pathetic, and I don't really want to have to use all 3 rigs for shield. So what we're instead going to do is we're going to do an active shield tank. I would quite like to have a large shield booster on this fit. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get it anywhere near cap stable or not, so let's have a look. We'll put an enduring multi-spectrum shield hardener on. Now this is going to be our resistances just static, because this doesn't change like the reactive did on the Mallor, but we do have, because I have level 5 skills, we do have 20% bonus to these already, which is why our EM is at 20 and not 0. So these resistances are not terrible, it is only level 2 missions, and later on in the fit, if we have enough rig space, we can put on some more shield stuff. So let's investigate this final low slot now. What we're going to try and do is put a compact flux coil on, maybe a restrained flux coil. Yeah, we'll do a restrained flux coil, just to give the cap a little bit more use. Flux coils are what you use on shield boosting ships because cap power relays, although they give you more cap, they do reduce your shield boost amount by 10%. And I don't want to be reducing my shield boost by 10%, thank you. I'd rather have it at 59.5. So high slots now, we're going to have to pick some hybrid turrets, and because it's level 2 missions and we know that range is a good thing to have, we're going to use railguns, which are the longer range ones. There's no way we're going to have enough power grid and CPU to fit 250mm, so it's going to be 200mm. Fitting 250mm on a Moa is extremely difficult. So let's have a look, what are the cheapest ones of these? Let's try and find the Meta 3, here we are. Compressed coil gun 1. Prototype Gauss guns are the Meta 4, they're the most expensive ones as well. Well, they're not that expensive, but we're still, even with these, we're still 173 power grid over. which is an awful lot. That's going to need at least 2 rigs and probably changing this to a reactor control. Do 1 reactor control and then 1 rig, medium engineering rigs, ancillary current router 1. Okay, we've now got enough power grid, but the cap has been compromised quite a lot. Let's load some charges in these, because do remember that hybrid weapons also use capacitor. Antimatter being the highest damage, highest cap use, shortest range. Ammo is a good one to have. Fall of range 26, optimal range 14. Not great, not terrible. Iron charge is the longest range one. It tickles things, but it does put our range all the way to 56. Lead charge is the least cap use, medium damage, medium range. That's maybe something we can have in cargo. So the capacitor is really quite appalling on the ship. Let's see if we can fix that with 1 rig. I don't really want to put 2 cap rigs on this. If we can get away with 1, that'd be great. 436 with that, 412 with that. Right, we'll try 436. So what I'm hoping to do is to get a hybrid weapon rig on here. Yeah, we could do a collision accelerator. Let's try that. And we have, very similar to the Maller again, enough space for 3 light drones and enough bandwidth to fly 3 light drones. So that's what we're going to do. Light scout drones, 3 Hobgoblin 1s, keep it cheap. And low scale friendly. So this is what we've come up with so far. I'm not overly happy with this. I think we've got a power module here, a power rig up here. We're struggling to even fit the mid-range guns, and the capacitor is pretty terrible. So I don't think we're going to be able to do this large shield booster. I think we're going to have to go down to a medium, which isn't great. We'll do an enduring. It's at least fixed the capacitor, and it's also fixed the power grid, as we no longer need this reactor control. Actually, let's put the reactor control back on. I've had another idea. Can we get away with taking off the power rig? We can. Now this is quite interesting, because in rigs and under shield we do have this, which if we look, it reduces the duration of your shield boosters by 15%. So they cycle 15% faster, so you get more repairs per second. So we see the repair at the minute is only 30 hit points a second. If we put this solidifier on, it goes up to 35.3, which is quite a good boost. And it's still actually cap stable, even with the antimatter charge M on it. So I think that's what we'll try. We'll try this. I wonder if we can get away with changing the reactor control out for a power diagnostic. Let's investigate that as well, because we still have 56.5 power spare. I don't think we need that much spare. Fingers crossed. Will this work? Not quite. Oh well, it was worth a try. Maybe it will work. Okay, let's just put a power diagnostic in at the minute and see if we can save any more power grid by doing something else, like maybe a compact afterburner instead of an enduring. No, still 7.6 to find. Maybe if we do a compact shield booster instead, maybe that'll work. Compact. No, not quite. And I don't think... No, we're not going to save enough power grid by doing all that, so let's not do that. Just put this back to enduring, and then we'll put the afterburner back to an enduring as well. I'm trying to give you guys as much cap as you can. I have really high skills, so my capacitor use is really good anyway. So we do need the compact reactor control. So are we entirely happy with this fit? Not entirely. I mean, it's pretty good. It reps a decent amount. It's cap stable even with the high cap use ammunition loaded. With lead, 40 kilometers. DPS is pretty anemic, but it can't really be helped. This is about as high as the DPS is going to go. Now, could we remove this capacitor rig? Let's have a look. With it off, it's still cap stable if we use lead, and if we use antimatter, it's still 10 minutes, which is still probably enough time to do a level 2 mission. Right, now we have a rig slot to play with, but not very much calibration. Just 100 left. So what we'll do, we'll use a filter. We'll filter the resources for remaining resources, and we'll limit it to rigs and things that can fit on the ship. Okay, now we're left with a list of all the things we can use on the ship that still fit. apparently there's a hybrid weapon rig we can use. Yeah, these are all like range things. Now this one might be pretty good. This one actually reduces the cap use. So that could be something we could think about. But then we've taken off a cap rig just to replace it with another cap rig, so let's not do that. And this one's tracking speed. I quite like that. I think we're going to do that. Because at the minute the tracking's 1302. If you put this on, it goes up to 14.72. Again, it's not great, but it's just about as good as we're going to get, I think. Or instead of that, we could put an EM reinforcer just to fill the EM hole in our shields in case we're fighting drones. That could probably be the better option, because we can, instead of using the tracking rig, we can use our keep it range and manual piloting to help us hit things. Yeah, I think that makes me a little bit happier. Right, that's enough fitting. This is what we're going to go with. It's only 16.1 million. Again, you could make it cheaper by not using the Meta 4 versions of things. You can use Meta 3 or Meta 2 to make it cheaper. I shall go and buy this. I'll find a level 2 agent and we'll run some missions together. Okay, here we are with our lovely shiny Lego ship. Sorry, I mean Caldari ship. And this is a Moa. Very nice looking. All kitted out with our beautiful railguns. Ready to scratch the paintwork and run some missions. So let's indeed do that. We've been given a mission. It's called the Hidden Stash. It's one jump over. We're being tasked with bringing back 150 cubic meters of cargo. We've got plenty of room for that. We're fighting Serpentists, who are weakest to kinetic and thermal. Well, that's absolutely fine, because all hybrid weapon ammo does kinetic and thermal. As we see, kinetic and thermal. So even though we're doing slightly less raw DPS than the Mallard did, we're at least finding the correct type of damage at the enemies. So this is going to be great. Okay, we are in the mission system. We're on the way to the mission. This actually reps just about the same hit points per second as the Mallard did, but obviously it's shield and not armour, so we don't have the shield to use as a buffer. Again, we probably won't turn the booster on until we get to about half shield, so we might want to come down here to HUD options and configure ship health alert settings, put the shield threshold up to about 50%, so when we get to half shields we'll get the beep and we'll know we have to turn our repairer on.
Warp drive active.
So remember, our tracking is nowhere near as good. So we'll change the keep it range to something like 14,000. Okay, what do we have? 5 destroyers and a whole bunch of these really ugly, stupid looking placeholder asteroids. Why you do this, CCP? See, the developers removed all mineable asteroids from missions and they replaced them all with this single model rock, and they couldn't even be bothered to rotate them through any one of the 3 axes or change the scaling of them. So some are smaller, some are larger, some are lying on their back, some are twisted round. They just couldn't be bothered to do any of that. Right, so we killed all the bad guys. I'm not seeing where these cargo containers are. Sorry, whilst I was ranting about how crap this looks, look at it, it's abysmal. Everything the same size and the same orientation. Pure laziness. Whilst I was ranting like that, we completed the mission, we killed everything. I'm pretty sure we've got to destroy this warehouse. Yep, ain't nothing in there, so let's just demolish this warehouse, and grab what we need, and get back out of here. There we go, that's what we need. Reload the guns. Yeah, it looks like we fired about 3 rounds of ammo per gun to complete this mission. Well, that's not what we need. It is NPC trade goods, and that's what we need. We don't care about that. Let's get back through the Stargate and hand this mission in and hopefully get something a bit more challenging.
Active.
Not that level 2 missions are challenging. A little bit of animation when you warp. These nacelles or stubby wings fall down like that. It looks pretty cool. Any ship that has moving parts in warp is good. Bring some more life into the game. And we're back. We've completed that mission, so let's request the next one. Right, murderer brought to justice. We'll do this. One system over, so let's go and do it. And we made the short hop over to the next system, and we're on the way to the mission, so we'll turn the tracking computer and the multi-spectrum shield hardener on. Again, just to preserve cap, we're not going to turn the shield booster on until we need it, because cap only lasts 10 minutes. And going to half shield means they're going to have to do 1500 damage to us. Well, they might do that because there's one frigate and 3 cruisers, I should say, and they're at long range, so we'll reload to lead charge. It only takes 5 seconds to reload in hybrid weapons. There we are, full of range 40. I'm not sure we needed to target the sign. Doesn't look quite as cool as beam lasers when it fires, but it's good enough, I suppose. It's hard to say what these guys are weakest to. The shields have really high explosive, and their armour has really high EM, and they're kind of middling on the other two. We're barely taking any damage at all. Just chewing this mission up quite easily. And he's right between optimal and fall off now, so we should be hitting him rather well. Yeah, easy peasy. And I think for this last guy we'll reload to antimatter. We could be really disrespectful and put out our 3 drones and let the drones kill him, but we are a gunship. Let's use our guns. And we'll use keep at range and the afterburner just to line ourselves up with him properly. Boom, there he goes. And that's the end of that mission. All 4 ships did drop something, but I can't really be bothered to loot it. So let's go and get a 3rd mission.
Warp drive active.
And the next mission is destroy the drone silo in this system, so let's just get on with this.
Warp drive active.
And we'll turn on the tracking computer and the shield hardener. Turning on the shield hardener just to slow down the rate at which the shield is eaten, to slow down the time at which we need to turn on the shield booster. Not that level 2 missions require a huge tank. That's one of the reasons that I took off the large shield rep. You don't need to have a large shield rep for level 2 missions, they're not that difficult. Okay, quite a lot of drones, and they look like they're all at long range, so let's right click and reload for a longer range ammo. Oh, do this lot, and then this lot, and then the ones at the back. One gun on each, I think. We're missing an awful lot because our tracking is nowhere near as good as it was in the Maller, so we'll just approach them just to help the angular velocity out a little bit. Okay, that's good. They're dead. Let's approach this next lot. Fall off range is only 40 kilometers, so we're going to have to cruise in for quite some time. It's probably close enough now, we can open fire. And that's them dead. This light missile battery is just about within our fall off range, we'll just destroy that. And we can reload to short range high damage ammo because we're right next to the thing we need to destroy to complete the mission. And that's it, the mission is complete. We can hang around and kill everything, or we can just leave. Might as well hang around. And there we go, full clear.
Warp drive active.
Okay, so that's how I would fit a Moa for running level 2 missions. Very, very similar to the Maller in all respects, in their traits, in their fitting, in their playstyle. I would perhaps change the fit very slightly by removing this shield, this EM shield reinforcer rig, and putting the hybrid weapon tracking one on. As we saw, it's quite inaccurate, the tracking speed is really quite poor. Or to increase the tracking, you might even take off the 200mm railguns and replace them with the dual 150s. I know, controversial. But we saw how good the tracking on dual 150s was when we did the thorax exploration fit. The range is appalling, but their tracking is excellent. Yeah, our turret tracking, well, I said excellent. I mean, the Maller was at 40 something, they're still only at 19.3. The range is absolutely abysmal. But that is something we could do. Yeah, you could even conceivably refit it with the dual 150s, 2 cap rigs, and a micro warp drive. Cap only lasts 10 minutes, but then you'll hit things much easier, and your DPS isn't much less. But instead, we've gone for this. So I hope you find this entertaining and informative, and I hope you come back for the next one. We'll probably do another level 2 mission in a different Tech 1 cruiser. Until we come back, do take very good care of yourself. I will talk to you again very soon.